Hey everyone, RemanX here, and we're going to go over a little bit of an insight to something that we figured out recently. I kind of want to help and show you guys something, and I hope this helps you guys figure this out. So one of the things we've been working on is trying to understand the timeline for completing Dark Dimension 5. And how we do this is we get large amount of data points, and we chart how much you're getting from your resets for your Teal gear. And what we found was something interesting. And I kind of thought about it today as I was refreshing the Ikaris shop, because I didn't understand the valuation from a gold/core perspective of what Teal gear kind of equates to. And by the way, in the comments, if you guys have any questions or any concerns about how we currently valued the Teal gear, we had to set a baseline, and this is how we did it. So I'm going to show you guys this. This is for private availability. If you guys want some access to this to understand how this works, I'll create a link later on. Stay tuned. Make sure you guys join my Discord, which is below in the comments, and we can talk about this later. So the biggest thing we've talked about is your average gold orb is 225 gold, and that hasn't changed in a little while. And so that costs 450 cores. So this means that if you buy a gold orb or open a gold orb, based on the value of 450 cores, it is a flat rate and equates to 500 gold per core. I don't think that number is by accident. That is probably very well on purpose, and we probably accidentally backed into some of their formulas here. So let's talk a little bit about this, right? So we try to understand how much the Teal gear costs. So if you guys looked at the cost for the store inside of the gold store, a TBC was 60,000 gold per, at 240,000 for 4. And then we're going to be breaking down the war cost eventually and kind of help you determine what war currency you should buy. And we'll go back to why I'm talking about this in a very moment. So stay tuned. This will make be a lot clearer in a few moments. All right, so we took all these numbers based on what we saw in the gold store. By the way, I spent a lot of cores refreshing that. Now, I was the direct beneficiary of that because I'm starting my preparation for Dark Dimension 5, hoping to do it by the time that Scarlet Spider is out, or I might start a little bit sooner, depending on if I can allocate the resources. So maybe when Ghost Spider drops, I might make her my first bio character. Stay tuned. So from this, we derived that the core cost for a TBC was 120 cores. So that's 4 would be 480. A basic stat, which is focus, armor, resist, health, and damage, was 90 per. The class basic, all right, which is any one of the pieces that are non mini uniques, was 90 per. And a mini unique was 80. It was either dropping in 1 or 2. I don't think I saw it higher than that. So, and then a T16 unique was 250 cores per 1. And so the reason why we derived this was because we're looking at the Ikaris store. And the Ikaris store was selling the basic stats and the class basics for 900 or 3,000 Ikaris currency for a 10 stack of some of these. And it equates to about 900 cores of value, the way that the game values it. So other thing you want to do is take a look at the raid gear Teal orb, and it basically comes out to an average of 730 cores per orb. And I thought that was exceptional when it came down to should your alliance push or not. Again, don't push your alliance. This raid sucks. It is a ton of RNG. Anybody who tells you otherwise is either a liar or has more luck than I do. That being said, it was surprising to figure that out because now we have some basic valuation. So now we understand why the strike pass sucks, because they value this Teal gear at higher than they ever have. So I'm starting to make my push for characters for Dark Dimension 5, and I found one very specific problem. While I could equip multiple characters, I was missing, in many cases, some very, very specific gear, and that came down to the associated gear on the character that was the non-unique. I also saw that they're selling it now as well. So the thing about it is, with the Ikaris event, what should you do? Should you be buying Ikaris up only, or should you be talking about Teal gear? And that's where the problem occurs. Realistically, if you have the excess cores and you wanted to make a Dark Dimension push, then you should be spending the cores on the Ikaris orb while it's still available, and you should be buying the Teal gear up. Now, I don't know how much longer this orb was going to be here. It's already disappeared once. To be clear, it's an average of 9 when you buy these 675 Blitz orbs, because they were the Blitz available character. I don't know what they want to call them. I guess generic character availability orbs. There's there's the event orbs, which are the worst application of them. But that's that. Because realistically, based on the current evaluation for gear, Teal is the most restrictive I've seen on any of the gear sets. And it's interesting because I don't even know why they have these orbs in here still. The Dark Dimension Cosmos, I don't know what they're trying to do with this orb. To be very clear, we saw the valuation of that orb and it was way off, or was it? Because it's clear to me that they're definitely valuing our gold and our core system. And they're not willing to part with that bottleneck. So, I've said this before. Should you be refreshing the store? I don't know if Dormammu's worth it. I think he's a phenomenal character, and maybe they build a team around him. But right now, he's beatable. There's videos out there of people beating Dormammu. I'm not going to show you, I'm not going to tell you how, because I hopefully he has some value otherwise. But right now, he doesn't seem like he's the Ultron-esque character that we thought he would be. And I think they made a mistake with the trauma changes. Does that affect your desire to chase Dark Dimension 5, knowing that he may not be that character? I'll tell you this right now. One thing about Dormammu is it doesn't matter how powerful he is right now. He will make characters that are power crept, like Omega Red, more powerful as more of them come to the game. Ikaris and Cersei are two pieces of that puzzle, but the second we get more and more powerful characters, and then their ability to revive if it's not already built into their kit, Dormammu gives them an extra edge in Arena that you're not going to get from anything else. So while he may not seem unbeatable now, it isn't unlike Scopely to add characters later on in the life cycle where suddenly he becomes unbeatable. But more importantly, there's another game mode which I've said I think he's being built towards. And our grand tournament / the roster v roster 1v1 that's going to be out there. If you're facing somebody with a Dormammu, either on offense or defense, they're probably going to have an easy edge on you for points. So it's probably for a game mode that isn't in the game yet. Same point in time, there's a power gain from this. So does Teal gear make the raid easier? Well, no. Actually, I feel like they're going to sell us more teams to beat the raids. So for now, I think you focus on characters that are valuable to you and will have value later on. And the problem we had was we really wanted to see what the next release of characters were. And I'm glad we waited, because if we had pulled the trigger on symbiotes, well, those characters have just been outclassed by the next release. Web Warriors are better in every way. Taking them to Teal gear means you're probably going to be able to put the raid on auto. So they're almost incentivizing us to wait. So what's this chase worth it? I don't know. I feel like it's way too restrictive right now to worry about gear. Understanding the amount of cores and gold it's going to take to get through Dark Dimension 5. Maybe there's a defense that we haven't anticipated or we haven't theory crafted that might be foolproof. I don't think so. And At the end of the day, I feel like with the pace of the characters, it's almost better to wait until it's a clear, yes, I want this character at Teal gear. Yes, I need this character to do more than he's doing for me right now, before you pull that trigger. Remember, I do things so you don't have to. I'm going to get in there and I'm going to start taking some characters to Teal gear. I'm probably going to make some interesting choices. I've already tipped my hand and said I'm probably taking Ghost Spider and Scarlet Spider, at least some combination of the Web Warriors in right away. And we'll have to see how that works out, and stay tuned for those results. Now, we do know that Scarlet Spider and Ghost Spider are probably not going to be out until the middle of December or late December. So stay tuned for that when we get in there. Again, I may start with a couple of base characters, when that comes around. Stay tuned.